Hello everyone in autonomous learning environments and self-directed learning. This is the last module 7, assessment options. I just wanted to create this video to give some closure to module 7 since we don't have a real-time online session as for the other modules. So let's get started. The last module acknowledgements are earlier poster Aniseta, that's great, and interesting posts also Aniseta. Thank you very much. I have another category, but I'm not going to put it here because it's a little surprise. So, comments about forums and assignments. I would like to highlight Aniseta's idea of sharing a Google Doc link. As you saw, I used this idea for providing you feedback with the assessment activities. I think it's a really good way to do it, and I will continue to use it for next offerings of the course. So thank you very much, Aniseta, for that idea. A common comment that I would like to make is proofread assignments before submitting them, especially when you're submitting them to Anaheim, because of course, you know, these are foreign professors, so they need to understand what you're trying to say. So make sure you proofread them for typos, for APA style references, etc. And you're very highly committed. That's something I have highlighted from the beginning of our course, and I keep on highlighting even today. So let's get started on Module 7, Assessment Options. The learning objectives for our module were: after the completion of the module's reading and activities, you were supposed to reflect upon assessment practices in your own contexts and design assessment activities that align to the demands of 21st century classrooms. Let's see how that went. In the assessment activities, we have Aniseta assessing her students' ability to read, write, and comprehend sight words, vocabulary words. Liz and Andrea, smart traveling. I'm sorry I missed the others here, but they are on the slides. We'll touch base on them in a moment. So, Andrea and Liz, you provided us with smart traveling. You provided us with a really good checklist for assessing, for self-evaluation. I think this is the highlight of your assessment because self-evaluation is something important to train students on. That was something I said in the forum, and it is self-assessment is not easy to do, especially if students are not used to it. This is something that doesn't come naturally to students because they haven't had the opportunity to assess themselves or to peer assess in their history or in their life, you know, as students. So training them is a really important practice if you want them to do this right. So offering them instruments like this, you know, practical and easy to use, is a way to guarantee that students are actually going to know how to self-assess. So thank you very much for sharing this activity and this checklist. Ibeth presents a rubric. Yeah, this is a rubric for learning. Sorry, I have someone. Sorry about that. So Ibeth presents a rubric on how to assess a presentation, and then Liz makes the comment about numbers and how we should stop thinking about the number. Students all the time are thinking about the number. If we offered them, you know, like a rubric like this, they wouldn't understand that we don't want to grade it. So that was the first issue raised in Yvette's assessment. I think it's an important thing to provide students with rubrics, as I mentioned in the forum, because that way students know, and it's just fair to them. They know what they're going to be assessed on, and they know what is expected of them in an assignment. I don't think it's a bad thing to do. Also, there was an issue raised in Yvette's assessment, and it was the fact that comprehension was one of the categories to be assessed, and you offered the option of doing an online presentation. So, in that sense, the question would be: how would students or classmates ask questions to the presenter if the presentation is going to be done online? You have to make sure that your rubric adapts to every option that you give your students, or that you create a rubric for every option. So give that some thought. Yvette said something really important that I think is worth discussing, and it is: I did not intend to show or give the rubrics to students, since it can discourage students who got a low score because they did not perform well, but who put all their efforts in the activity. That has to be looked at with a magnifying glass. Why? Because what are you assessing? Effort or performance? You have to be very careful about that, because otherwise you might be giving the wrong message. When you want your students to perform at a certain level, that means that's what they are required to do to pass or to get a grade or something. When you want them to just put an effort on things, then don't make it high stakes. Don't make it a grade for the course. Because if you have, for example, a test or a presentation or any other product that you're supposed to submit, but then the teacher grades you on effort, that's unfair to the ones who did their best effort but also performed highly. You see what I mean? So if you're worried about this, that students who get the low score get discouraged because they did not perform well but they did their effort, provide lots of formative assessment opportunities so that those students that usually get low scores have chances to practice and prepare, so when the actual high stakes examination takes place, they are ready and they get a good score. Do not mix those two things. I mean, performance versus effort, it's like a very difficult thing to analyze, and it's a very difficult thing to consider when you are designing your assessments. In regards to Mayra's post, I just thought of this picture as the way to describe it. Welcome to the future. I think I passed this website along to 10 colleagues already, and everyone loves it. So thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for curating this fabulous resource for us. I would invite you and everyone else to use it and to tell us whether it works in reality. It looks amazing. It looks like the affordances that it offers are just mind-blowing. I would like to know if it's, if, as we say in Spanish, if all that beauty is true. So when you use it, please let us know somehow. You can notify us on Twitter. We can find different ways to share. About Jennifer's assessment and her questionnaire, ¿Qué tanto sabes de investigación? I think it's a very important thing, a little quote that she shared at the end, which was, I consider this quiz intends to accept the challenge of changing this view because it has a formative quality and can become a learning experience. So yeah, regularly quizzes are graded, regularly quizzes are high stakes and are summative, but we can turn them into formative assessment opportunities. We can use quizzes, to show students how they're doing and to establish action plans. We can, as Jennifer used it, we can use it as a needs analysis opportunity. There are many different things we can do with quizzes. So I think what you did was great. I liked your assessment very much, and I liked the way you thought critically about using a regular tool in an innovative way. So about the vlog, and this is my surprise, well, Andrea did it. Andrea was the only one who did the vlog, the optional task. I know it was optional, but for that reason, she earns the Opportunity Caesar badge. What does it mean? During our course, the 7 modules, there were different tasks that were optional, and Andrea took all of them. She did all of the optional tasks. So that makes her win the Opportunity Caesar badge. Andrea, I already sent you a message on the forum with the picture of the badge, which I hope you share in your social networks and show it off. Great job. You are an amazing student, and thank you very much for taking all of those opportunities. I'm not criticizing anybody else, don't take me wrong, just that it's important to celebrate that Andrea decided to take these opportunities, and even though she's very busy as well as everyone else, she decided to do it. So congratulations, and thank you very much for taking that chance. So the conclusions of our module would be very interesting assessments. All of you put some thought into your assessment activities, and all of you created assessments that are formative, that align to the principles of the 21st century. So I think we would be, accomplishing the goal for our module. Also, very interesting ideas in the forums. I like the fact that you bring up all these ideas. We didn't comment on Anicetta's post because it actually had a conversation on it. But anyway, every one of your assessments was very interesting. Reflection is still necessary, of course, as I mentioned in one of our real-time online sessions. This course is just little capsules of amazing topics, but you need to expand on the information on all of the topics, because of course here in 9 weeks we cannot go in depth, in all of the concepts. And assessment is a hard topic to work with. However, luckily there are a myriad of tools that you can use. Now you can access checklists, rubrics, and other instruments that have been created for assessments to be more authentic and to be more aligned to the principles of the 21st century. So the next steps, remember our final assignment is due on April the 27th. Please label your assignment like this: final_assignment_ and your name. And the feedback will be back on May 6th, okay? Well, it was a pleasure to be your professor for the first class. Goodbyes are not forever, goodbyes are not the end. They simply mean I'll miss you until we meet again. So it was a pleasure to be your teacher. See you in the future, hopefully. See you in residential sessions, hopefully. And enjoy the classes with Anaheim. Goodbye.